All right, so earlier we created some sites for Barcelona and Bali. So these are perfect contexts with which we can provide some localization. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add some translated content for the Barcelona site. So let's go ahead and open up the menu. If you are not logged in, make sure you are logged in here, of course. Let's go to the site selector here. All right, and you can click on My Sites to find the Barcelona site. Go ahead and click on the two child sites under the Livingston Hotels and Resorts. All right, and the Barcelona one is going to be the one to the right. All right, so here we are in our site. So what we want to do is we want to go to the content section. We're going to import a new banner, and then we're going to provide the translation for it. So go to Content, Web Content. All right. Open up the options menu at the top and click on Export Import. And import here, just like we've done before. Click on Select File. All right, and navigate to your exercises. Again, this should be in C Liferay or User Home Liferay. And go ahead and go to the sixth section called Localization. Here you should find the barcelona.lar. So go ahead and open that up. Click Continue and Import. All right, so you should see successful. Go ahead and close this here. All right, so what this did is this imported the structure and template for us, so we can create the banner and we can provide the translation as well. So let's walk through that translation process. So go ahead and click on Web Content if you're not already there, and go ahead and click on Add and Hotel Banner. It should be at the very, very bottom. All right, so for the title, let's go ahead and call this Barcelona Hotel Banner. All right, for the hotel name, we're going to go ahead and type in Livingston Resort at Barcelona. All right, for the lead text, we're going to type in Come Home to Barcelona. Stay with us in the heart of the city. And at Livingston's Barcelona location, your front door opens to adventure. Okay. All right, I'm going to do a little comma here. All right, I just made all of that up on my own. No, I'm just kidding. You guys should be able to see this on the page with your exercises. All right, and then we can go ahead and select our image here. Okay, so go ahead and click on the select button under where it says BG image. Click select file. And choose the Barcelona City.jpg. So go ahead and open that up. And click add. Okay, go ahead and scroll down and click publish. And we now have our new Barcelona hotel banner. So we're going to set this up on our page, and then we'll come back and provide that translation. So go ahead and click on Go to Site in the site administration panel here. And we are going to replace our current default banner with our new Barcelona banner. But before we do that, we need to actually turn inherit changes off for this particular page. So if you guys remember from an earlier section, when we use a page template, we can turn on inherit changes. And when we have that turned on, we provide that hard link between the template and the page. So let's go ahead and turn that off, and then we can replace our banner. All right, so go ahead and click on Configure Page. It's going to be that little cog at the top right. And you should see an Inherit Changes option here. So this is where you can actually turn it off by clicking on the slider. All right, so go ahead and make sure that says No, and then click Save. All right, from there, let's go ahead and click on the Options menu next to our web content display. And let's go ahead and click on Configuration. Okay, go ahead and click on the Change button here. This will allow us to change the content for this display widget. And choose the Barcelona hotel banner. All right, you should see that here. And we can go ahead and click Save. All right, so close the pop-up. If you need to refresh, you can refresh the page, but this will give us our new Barcelona banner. All right, so what we want to do next is, like I've already mentioned, we want to go ahead and add a Spanish translation for those Spanish speakers who would be coming to this page and checking out the content for this resort. So let's first go to Build and Pages. Okay, before we actually change the content, we can actually provide localization for the pages. All right, so click on Options next to Home and Configure. Okay. Like I've mentioned, anytime we see this flag, we can provide a translation. All right, so click on the flag here and go ahead and go all the way down to the bottom where you see the Spanish option. It'll be ES-ES. All right, so for the name in Spanish, we're going to go ahead and type in Inicio. All right, and we can also provide a friendly URL here for the Spanish translation as well. All right, so go ahead and do that and go ahead and click Save. And now we're going to provide some translations for our content. All right, so open up Content and Web Content in the Site Administration panel. Click on Options next to the Barcelona Hotel banner and go ahead and choose Edit. All right, we see these flags here. So next to the title, go ahead and choose the flag and then go ahead and choose the Spanish translation. All right, so we're going to do Livingston and Barcelona. All right. For the lead text, okay, if you want to type everything you see there, you can, or we can go ahead and open up our exercises. All right, and navigate to the 6th section called Localization and open up that Barcelona text. Go ahead and copy the lead text in Spanish, or if you speak Spanish, you can do the translation yourself. All right, and paste it on in here. And we're going to go ahead and keep the image, but it is worth noting here that you can also change the image. So in the case where localization goes further than just simply translating text, perhaps there are images that are more appropriate for one culture or the other, you can go ahead and change those aspects of your content as well. So let's go ahead and scroll down and click Publish. All right, so now we have English and Spanish, okay? Now again, it's worth noting here that if there is no translation for content, when a user comes to the page viewing it from a certain language, it's going to default to the default language. So we'll also look at that as well. All right, but for starters, go ahead and click on Go to Site in the Site Administration panel. All right, and if you scroll down to the language selector, you can click on the little flag here. All right, and you'll see Español, España here. Go ahead and choose that option. All right, and so what we see here is we see our Spanish translation both in our content and also in the default Liferay options, okay? So our home page is translated, our content here is translated, but you'll also see anywhere where it's actual Liferay provided text, we have translations as well, okay? So you'll see it in the Site Administration panel or anywhere else in the admin tools. So if a user is coming to our site with Spanish as their selected language, this is what they will see. All right, so let's go ahead and change it back to English. Okay. All right, again, that's just going down to that language widget there. All right, and now let's take a look at how we can change the default languages for the site itself. Okay, now I mentioned that you can change the default language for the platform, but the site can be further refined to be more specific. So in this case, there might only be a few languages that actually make sense for this kind of a site. So the languages that would make sense here are English, Spanish, and Catalan as well. All right, so let's go ahead and open up the configuration and site settings. Okay, again, this will be in the site administration panel. All right, you'll see an option that says languages, so go ahead and click on languages and choose the option that says define a custom default language and additional available languages for the site. All right, so what we want to do here is we want to select the languages that we are not going to use and remove them. Okay, so go ahead and select those languages. Okay, again, we're keeping in Catalan, English, and Spanish. So everything else you can highlight and you can click on the right button. All right, so what this does is it provides for the content team of this site specific translation options for this individual site. All right, so in the Livingston Resort at Barcelona site, we can translate to these 3 languages. All right, and what we can also do is we can change the default language. All right, so let's change the default language to Spanish. Okay, and go ahead and click Save. All right, so this makes the most sense for this individual site. Again, these are all of the languages available at the platform-wide level. Of course, there are more languages that can be added in as well. All right, but for this individual site, these 3 will do, and Spanish makes the most sense for the default language. So if we want to verify that we have our language changes here, we can click on Go to Site. All right, and if we scroll down, we can go ahead and click on the language selector, and we will see the 3 languages that are available to us. All right, so that's an example of how you can provide translations. Again, localization can go a lot further than translations. It can also include changes to images and things like that. So keep that in mind as you consider your own use case for translations on your own platform. All right, so in the next section, what we'll do is we'll talk about some of the more advanced ways of providing translations or getting some of our content to respond to the region or even language of our users. All right, so I'll see you in the next section.